Okay, so this is what we waited for to come. This is from ClosetMaid. It's a 4-foot adjustable closet system situation. Each shelf holds 1,000 pounds, holds up to 1,000 pounds. I don't know, each shelf is 250. Regardless, we don't have that much weight. This is a little like half rack that our friend Carla gave us that we may use. And then this, you can leave it there, honey. And then this is the long hanging, possibly over the door thing that we also got. So currently, I switched out these for Dollar Tree items. So I used to have a big silver one here that required me to put a string on everything. So what I wanted to do for a long time, but I ended up keep using these for DIYs. Basically, I took the over the door one and the screw into the wall one, and I put the screw into the wall one over the door one so I can get little hooks too, and basically emulate what I had. But we're gonna take this down because we're gonna hang that other thing on the door, and we're gonna put these things somewhere else, and da 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 da. So if anybody's interested, this is a ClosetMaid 4-foot. I think the model is 2845. I got it for I'm a Prime member, so I got it for like $93 on Amazon. It was like $92 in tax. I mean, in change plus the tax. All total, I got this and the over-the-door thing for around $119, which was, like I said, cheaper than any wood we could possibly find. So, as we were determining what we were going to do, we were trying to decide if we were going to do 2 inches on each side or just 4 inches on one side, but then we realized we have to go with the studs. And the studs in this closet were up against the outside wall, which was the wall on Jim's right, and then 16 inches on center from that. So it actually, we couldn't space it between them evenly. So what we did was we found the studs, just like the instructions say. They want you to put the outside ones and the middle one on a stud, and then drill holes and use these wall anchors on the ones in the middle, just as it shows here. We found the 3 studs were easy to find because the existing shelf was actually hanging on it. So one thing that we didn't film is that we removed that shelf. We determined that it was best for us to hang the bracket up high and then put that what was the affixed shelf down below. And the reason we did that is because the previous owners or previous whoever remodeled in 2009, the previous owners, they moved the outlet box, the junction box, or the electrical panel, and they just left the hole, like the cavity there, and it's got this piece of paneling back there. I don't know if you saw the rectangle. So we can't really, there's no stud behind there in that one section. So we had to make sure that we were above that cutout. So that's what we did. We hung it. You can see that cutout there. And then the system is really simple. Once you get your 5 anchors in, or your 2 anchors and your 3 screws, then you just hang those brackets vertically. You just use a level. We use the level line. You screw them in at the 3 points. It actually comes with extensions to make it even longer if you want your shelves spaced really far apart. We don't, so we just left that the extensions off, and we saved them for in case we want to ever move this to a different closet. Now I'm hanging that little Dollar Tree hook set that I showed you before, the one that screws into the wall, on the inside of the door of the closet, because this is where I decided I wanted to keep my brooms and mop. I did poll people about who has their brooms and mops in their pantry, and do you have a separate space, and is it like thumbs up, thumbs down? I just know that I don't really have much choice. I know that sounds silly. Without keeping it out in the open, it's got to go in this closet. But what we decided to do was we have a dustpan on the broom, and then we'll take the mop head off every time we hang it up. So the same thing with the dusters. So we won't keep full dusters in there when they're dirty, or put on a new one before you put it away, kind of thing. Okay, so now what we're determining is Jim replaced that shelf down below at 18 inches, and then we went 12 inches above that, but then I decided to do 13 because the shelf has a little exposure, like a 1-inch hang down. I bumped it up to 13, but I did mention well, actually, I didn't mention to you yet at all. We are going to add another shelf. It's just a matter of trying to find it. I found that I can buy the brackets and the shelf separately at 16 inches, like a 16 by 48, which is what we have, for $35, or I could just shrink down to a 12-inch one and get it for around $11, $12. And that's probably what we're going to do. We're probably going to get a 12-inch shelf and put it at the top, just to hold like extra little snacks. That's basically what we have up there. Is like the, if you have a bag of chips open, then that's where you keep the extra bag of chips. That's what we have up there. So these shelves, first, Jim likes to do things the way he likes to do them. He reads the directions and tries to work it out himself. So what he did was he had a little bit trouble with the first one, but then after that he was able to get them in. And these shelves are actually pretty awesome. They lay on there and then they snap in to the little, like there's a little notch in the bracket. So the tendency of you to knock it up is pretty slight. You could, but it's pretty slight. Then we decided to put this door thing together, and this door thing is amazingly easy. I couldn't believe it. We basically just, the little clamps that go over the door, they bolt right on, because you have the option of hanging this on a wall if you want to. They just clamp right on. Then they tell you to hang one basket so that hangs evenly. These also have extensions. We did put the extensions on the door because we do want that extra storage. And it comes with 4 baskets that are deeper, 4 baskets that are shallow, and then 3 sort of what looks like towel bars, basically to hold tall items from falling out when you open and close your door. I'm telling you, worth every penny. So far, it is amazing. Originally, I was thinking I'd have all of these little baskets in my closet that would hold all of the little things. Boxes of rice-a-roni, cans of soup, that kind of stuff. Well, it turns out that they're all fitting in the door pretty nicely. All of my side dishes, all of my like pastaronis and rice-a-ronis, and Mom has her own little shelf there for her Spam and her soup so that she doesn't have to search around in the closet for all of her favorites, and her little cups of peanut butter. So basically I just had Jim put all of the shelves on there. And as I started to pack out the items, then I ended up moving them and adjusting them. Now, as far as the main shelves were concerned, I knew that I wanted a shelf 18 inches from the floor, 12 inches above that, 8 inches above that, 12 inches above that, and then 12 inches above that. Well, it turns out that we just did a little bit of adjustment. We did 13 inches and 9 inches and 13 inches, and we realized we have enough room for another shelf. Once we have our can shelf, which was supposed to be the 8-inch shelf, once we have all cans in there, we actually can lower it and still clear that 1 inch, and it's fine. I just don't remember personally when I measured the can heights, like the heights that I measured that day. I don't remember adding like an extra inch or 2, but apparently I did, because the can holders themselves with cans in them only come to about 6 inches. So now it's just time to put stuff away. We decided to put all of our baking stuff down below, including pancake mix and syrup. On the very floor, on the right, is those 2 stacking baskets that sort of do twist back and forth. They have the extra flour and extra sugar in there. Now the rest is just organizing it. I wanted to keep my sugar-free stuff separate, the gluten-free stuff separate, and then the other stuff. But here's the thing. I've mentioned this before. You're watching us put stuff away. However, every time I go to organize or reorganize or create a new space that's organized, I tell you guys, don't beat yourself up if you waste all your time doing it and then you live with it and it's not what you want. You've got to give yourself the grace to realize that nobody has all the answers before they live out practically, okay? What I did was I said, this is what seems like it will work, and let's go ahead and add. And as we added, we realized, you know what? We don't access containers of cereal as much as we access the cereal bars and stuff. So we ended up moving the containers of cereal over and putting the baskets of cereal bars in front. So you just have to give yourself the grace, learn what do it, live with it. As you live with it, if things need to be changed around, that's one of the greatest things about container organizing is that it's so much easier to move. You're not moving 27 little bottles. You're not moving 35 little packets of Spam. You are just moving the basket that they contain them in. So, but here's where you see I'm doing the closet. I just was trying to try to figure out what's the best for us. Okay, pasta down below, all the pastaronis. I also did organize my pasta by gluten-free, whole wheat, regular. Mom likes regular pasta. So I just did that, and then went above with the rice and rice-a-roni. And also those 90-second rices that I get from Aldi. I love those. And then we just continued. You got to try it. You got to put things in the space and say, yeah, okay. Now, I did say to Jim, after we were done working, this was a very long night and into the next day. I did say, actually, 2 days later, I did say to him, you're willing to redo some stuff when we get the next shelf, right? And I said to him, I'm like, here's the way I did it. And I'll tell you guys too. This is what I said to him. We either do a lot of work now or a little bit of work each time we have to do this. Each time we have to access something from the closet. If we have that additional shelf, we don't have to layer things. We don't have to hunt for things. We could just make everything on its own and have its own space. And that's really what I wanted to achieve in the first place. I wanted to be able to access all of my food by myself. I don't know if you've been around for a while, and I've mentioned it before, but where we had stuff in the pantry, all of the extra stuff was down below, where I couldn't access it without my husband. And then all of the containers and stuff you had to have 5 hands. You had to pull out a basket and pull out a second basket just to get to the thing in the back. I know a lot of people's answer is get rid of all your stuff, but it's not practical and it's not economical. So we have to make it work. So my original plan, and what the plan probably will be when we get the next shelf, is I wanted a basket, a shelf with just the soups on it. The ramen, the canned soup, the Progresso, the soup that we cook with, even the broth, the boxes of broth. I wanted that all to be together. And then I wanted the canned goods, because not only do we have canned vegetables, canned fruit, but we also have chili and hash and Chef Boyardee and stuff like that Jimmy likes. So I wanted to have a canned shelf as well. So if you guys have an idea of what I'm trying to say, hopefully, that's why I was so excited about the door system working out and having all of the different side dishes and boxed meals there, because it just made life so much easier. Now, I will tell you that at first Jim was like, oh, this box is a little too wide to go sideways. And I said, well, honey, this system is not affixed to the door. So as you put the box in, it just pushes the system away from the door a little bit. So it will accommodate different size boxes. But keep that in mind. Now, we don't have any little items that can fall between the system and the door. We don't have any pouches that face that way that aren't in little baskets. Like Mom's Spam is in that little basket from the Dollar Tree there. And here's it so far. So we have another video coming tomorrow where we're going to finish the bottom, work on the beginning of the coffee bar. Yep, that's exciting. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thumbs up, share, all the things. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye.